Yo, what is up guys? Welcome to the YouTube video, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing my settings with you guys so you guys can actually have a smoother gaming experience while playing Delta Force, because some of these settings are a really must-have and a lot of people don't have them enabled. So we're going to have a look at everything that you need to enable or disable to make your gameplay more smooth, and on top of that I will also be sharing my HUD because a lot of people have been asking about that. So in today's video I'll be sharing my HUD, but if my HUD is not convenient to you, I also have a few alternative versions of HUDs that you can actually use in Delta Force, and of course I will be sharing it with the codes in the pinned comment down below. So let's hop into the video, but before I do I want to ask you guys to just leave a simple like on the video. It really helps out, and of course if you're not subscribed yet to the channel, please help me out. We are on our way to 50,000 subscribers and it's gonna be really insane. So thank you in advance, and for now let's hop into the video. So first things first, we are gonna go ahead and go to the top right corner to the setting tab over here. We are gonna go ahead and go to the basic control tab over here where we have aim assist. You can turn this on or off to your preference. Personally, I do notice that while aim assist is nice to actually help you hit your shots, but if you are trying to micromanage your aim and actually adjust it better, then it might actually be a better idea to turn this off so you have a little bit more control of that recoil that you have in this game. So the scope magnification is something that I turn off. If you turn this on, basically this is going to adjust to the FOV that you have set in the settings as well. So me personally, I just turn it off. I want to have the magnification that is on the scope and not according to my FOV of my character. So up next we have the firing mode over here, and I just have everything enabled. This allows for quick ADSing, and if you are someone who wants to have a button that quick ADS and fire at the same time, this is for you. Now, not everyone actually likes this, so if you do not like this, then you can just disable it. But the one that I do highly recommend you turn on is the one for heavy weapon quick ADS. Now, this is for the heavy artillery, and if you are in a tank, if you are in like a stationary, like big thing, an RPG, you're using anything that is like heavy artillery, you can turn this on and it will actually help you ADS and fire much faster. So you don't have that like extra little of downtime. So highly recommend you actually turn that on. Up next, we have the perspective over here, and this is personal preference. So FOV, I have it up all the way to the max so I can actually see better. Some people are going to prefer putting this all the way down to like 90 or like even less. This is just per preference, but if you turn it up, the advantage is that you can actually see more, and also your movement will feel a little bit snappier because you can actually see a bit more on your screen. Now, up next for the basic combat, for the ADS mode, we are going to keep on hold. This is just my personal preference. There is nothing wrong with press or even hybrid, but it is just up to you to decide what you actually prefer playing with. So up next, we actually have sprint interrupt. ADS is actually off. You do not want your sprinting to interrupt your ADS because that can really mess you up, especially in warfare where you are running a lot, you are running and gunning, and this could potentially cause you a death. So definitely turn that off. Sprinting interrupts ADS. Now, up next, we also have sprinting interrupts healing. That is something that you want to turn on, because if you are healing and you need to be able to cancel that heal, you want to sprint to cancel it. Up next, we also have auto hold breath when ADS with SR. Basically, what that means is you're going to hold your breath while you are sniping, and basically that is going to give you more accuracy. Up next, we also have a reload interrupt by firing right here, and what that is going to do for you is it's going to pretty much interrupt the reload if you fire again. And this can be very useful, because imagine you are fighting, you are reloading, and then suddenly someone else comes around the corner. You can just fire away to cancel the reload and actually get that frag, because otherwise it's life and death. Okay, up next we have throw and place in place. This can be put on quick throw. Personally, I am not that used to like doing those quick throws, or sometimes I want to have some better accuracy. So me personally, I keep it on default, but this is definitely preference. So it's up to you guys. Up next, we're going to be moving on to the control tab right here. Now, this control tab is very important because this is a tab that not a lot of people pay attention to. So the first setting that we're going to have over here is the lean peak setting. Now, this is a setting that not a lot of people have seen or even use. Even I didn't know about it in the beginning, so make sure that you turn this on. Lean peak on. Lean peak auto ADS on. Lean peak, you can hold it or you can do press, whatever you prefer, and then you also have ADS lean peak. Now, this ADS lean peak setting is actually pretty special, because what this is going to do is it's going to actually assess the terrain around you, and then automatically it's going to like make you like this rather than just you ADSing straight forward. Now, the advantages of lean peaking are absolutely enormous, okay? You are basically lean peaking, only showing a part of your head or a part of your body, and that is going to make you less vulnerable. So, if you don't know what lean peaking is, or if you don't have this setting on, or if you were looking for this setting, or if you were looking how to do it, this is how you do it. You have to turn this on. Up next, we have gyroscope, and I have this turned off. I cannot play with gyroscope for the sake of me because I come from a PC gaming environment where you are stationary with a mouse and a keyboard, and gyroscope feels really, really unnatural to me. I know for a lot of people that is the complete opposite, so good for you. But me personally, I don't use gyroscope. Now, up next, we have the camera turning, and we are going to turn everything on here for a smoother gaming experience, turning around. And honestly, you can mess around a little bit with these settings, see what you like, see if you even notice a difference. Me personally, I did definitely notice a difference and an improvement with camera turning and movement turning, so that is very, very good. Up next, we have the basic controls over here. So running interrupts crouching, we're going to turn that on. You do not want to have this off because otherwise you're going to find yourself awkwardly crouching, and you know, sometimes you just want to keep going, right? So anyway, up next, we also have the tactical sprint activation. We are going to activate that with a stick. I highly discourage you to do that with a button because unless you're actually used to that, but most people will be used to it with activate with the joystick on the left hand side. So that is okay. Auto parachute is going to be off because I want to decide whenever I activate my parachute and not that the game decides that. Up next, we have the sensitivity transition mode, and we're going to put this on instant. Basically, what that means is you're going to press on ADS and it's going to be pretty much instant. You do not want to have this on anything else, not on gradual, not when ADS, just on the instant. It will make your game feel really snappy. So this is Lythes from the future, and I forgot to tell you guys in this setting tab over here that you need to turn on diving in warfare because I think by default it's actually disabled. Now, this setting is literally gonna save your life so many times in warfare because when you jump and you also tap the prone button, you are literally gonna dive like a dolphin. I'm talking dolphin like jumps, Black Ops kind of style. So if you have this disabled, make sure you enable it and make sure you try it out in warfare because this is an amazing setting, which I actually think is by default off. Anyway, I am yapping too much. Back to the video. Now, up next, we have the HUD that I'm using, and I know a lot of people have actually been asking me, like, Lythes, what HUD do you actually use? Well, this is the one. And I didn't want to post a video straight away with the HUD that I actually have because I wasn't completely satisfied with it. But I am getting to a point where this is a pretty acceptable HUD for me, and I'm starting to get really, really comfortable with this. So, what I play with is a tablet, and I play with 5 fingers. So I have 2 fingers on the left, my thumb and my index finger, and then on the right hand side, I will be using my thumb, my index finger, and my middle finger. So right hand side is for aiming. So right hand bottom side, you can see that there's a little space for me to move my thumb around and actually aim. And of course, above that, we have all of the buttons. So we have ADS, we have switch scope, we have all of the like tactical gears, all of the abilities. We also have the weapons on the bottom hand side, which I can reach with my thumb very, very easily. And then on the right hand bottom over here, we also have the like what is that called? The prone. So when I'm shooting, when I'm actually like fast ADS shooting, I can easily just prone and just like jump away. Now, what is also very important is that I can also just jump and prone at the same time over here, which is going to make you dive. So this HUD for me is very, very practical. On the left-hand side, you can see that I obviously have the Joy-Con over here, and I also have the scope, which I actually use quite a bit. Now, we have the scoping, but then we also have 2 buttons next to it, which are the lean peaking, which I talked about earlier in this video. So if you have that enabled, you will actually be able to use these buttons over here, which is super, super nice. Now, I'm going to be putting the code onto the pinned comment down below so you guys can go ahead and copy it over. And I know this is not going to be convenient for everyone, but I think this is a pretty good base to start with. And if you don't like where a certain button is, you could always move it around. Now, I also know that not a lot of people are going to be playing with 5 fingers. Most people that actually play on mobile are going to be playing with either 2 fingers or 4 fingers. So I want to give a big thank you to a lot of my friends and clan members from Bloodstrike who actually were kind enough to provide their Delta Force HUDs. And dude, these HUDs are very, very solid. I'm going to be putting them on the screen. I'm going to be putting on how many fingers is recommended to play with this HUD. And of course, I will be sharing the code with you guys. Big shout out and thank you to all of the Nexus clan members who shared their HUD. And last but not least, I am not going to be going over my sensitivity settings because I think that is very personal, and I don't think copying over my sensitivity is going to help you guys get better at this game. So sensitivity is something you have to figure out for yourself, but last but not least, we are definitely going to be going over the graphic settings. So I actually have a pretty high-end device, so I'm going to be able to run this game on HD settings with 120 FPS, but hopefully that will also unlock 144 FPS. Now, the reason why I'm not actually running it on ultimate or max settings is actually because of the frame rate limit. So we're going to be running it on HD settings and on 120 FPS. Up next, we have the graphic style, and personally, I really like the vivid style. So I am going to be running with that, but you can use any of them to whatever you prefer. Up next, we have a few settings, and a lot of people actually don't know what these settings mean, but depth of field, I have this on yes, I have no on bloom, and then triple no on all of the rest of the settings. So that is very good. Now, the hit effect for me is red. You can also change this, of course, to pink or blue. This can definitely help you with more visibility, so definitely this blue one could be a one to try out. But anyway, for the time being, we're going to keep it on red, and these are my graphics. So for the people who have a lower end device, make sure that you actually put the quality graphics to smooth or standard, depending on what your device can actually handle. And on top of that, we are going to be going with ultimate FPS for 60 FPS. Now, this is super important. Ultimate means 60 FPS. Then you also have the 90 FPS option, and on top of that, you have the 120 FPS option for higher end devices. So these are the things that you should be going with. I do think that everyone should at least try to push for 60 FPS on any device that you actually have, because man, under 60 FPS, it gets really hard to play Delta Force. You're gonna have struggle seeing enemies, and you're gonna struggle to keep up with them while they're moving. So anyway, moving on, over here below, we're just gonna have to put everything off, but you don't really have the option if your graphic quality is already set to smooth or standard. And then again, you can also adjust the hit effect. So these are the options that I actually recommend you use if you have a low-end device. Anyway, these are some of my settings. This is my current HUD. Maybe I'm gonna adjust it in the future, I'm not sure yet, but for the time being, I do want to share with you guys how I'm playing the game. So I really hope it helps you out. If it did, leave a like. Thank you guys so much for watching. Much love, and I'll see you in the next one.